But unfortunately, we only have time for one more topic. So we'll move on and end the night by talking about self-care and some positive ways to improve our well-being. So the first question is, will diabetes get in the way of doing the things I want to do in life, like traveling, dating, or having a good career?
No.
You're going to have an exceptionally ordinary life. I promise you that. I, at the moment, am looking at doing a big trip overseas, kind of doing an around the world sort of thing. I've had an incredible career thus far, and I'm still only very young, and I've had relationships, and all of those things, from when I compare from my life with diabetes to my friends who don't have diabetes, in a lot of the ways it's very normal. It's just that I've got to be a little bit more, mindful of certain things, every few hours or whatever it might be, but it's relatively the same.
Yeah, same, but different. Like, I've travelled. I'm about to embark on my third career, and I've been really proud of what I've achieved and everything. If you want to do it, do it. Like, the only person really who ever says no or stops you from doing things will be yourself.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, I echo what you've both said. Like, I think you can do whatever you want to do. It just adds another layer of. So it's a bit like if you're packing a backpack because you're travelling overseas, you've just got to add in a few extra things to manage your diabetes.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
pretty much. And we spoke about having an identity previously as a person, and diabetes being an element of that identity. And for me, I like having that as part of my identity. And when I'm traveling or when I'm meeting people, and in my career, I find that the more elements that a person has, the richer the experience in knowing that person. So diabetes forms part of that for me, and it's never stopped me doing any of those things either.
Yeah.
And second question about self-care and positive ways to improve well-being. It's quite simple, but often maybe not clear. What are some simple ways to improve your mood? So I like this question.
Well, I'm really big on actual physical. Actually, probably Lou's going to talk about this, but it's really important to move your body because we actually store stuff in our body, and we need to literally shift it. So I'm a big bushwalker and an outdoorsy type person. So if I'm feeling flat, or I can feel myself kind of sliding, I'm outside. I've gone. Like, I know what I need to do to bring myself up. So that's kind of, I guess, my number one go-to. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. I'm big on exercise. I also believe in a really great playlist for different moods. And I believe in whatever mood you're experiencing it, to feel it and not to try to surpass it all the time. Like, you can feel it through different means, whether that is listening to music, doing some exercise, whatever it might be. But I do believe that if something comes up, it's better to digest it. I also really think that something that helps improve my mood is that often when we're feeling like big moods and things like that, it's a very kind of egocentric place that we are, like, what's happening to us at that time. And one of the best things that I like to do when I'm not in the best mood is actually to call up a friend to see how they are, or do something that's not about me, because it gives me a sense of responsibility. It gives me a sense of purpose and meaning. So I love doing things like volunteering on diabetes camp. It gives me purpose. It empowers me, because often and this is a quote that I found a few months ago, and I've stuck by it, just like you and your quote, like, often when we're seeking the best in others, we finding it in ourselves. And I think that that's a really big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, vocalizing. I mean, it's literally my answer to nearly every question in this tonight, but I will tell my nearest and dearest, like, I don't know why, but this is how I'm feeling. And often even just saying it brings me up a few steps.
Yes.
And then I'm able to keep working or doing whatever it is that I have to do. But yeah, I like getting outside, walking, and getting on my phone and telling my best friend, I don't know why I'm in a bad mood, but I'm in a feral mood, but I've had a lovely day, but I'm really angry.
Yeah,
And it kind of helps. I don't know.
definitely.
There's lots of I mean, if you whatever search engine you use, put in self-care, and there'll be lots of, because not everyone's an outdoorsy type or a physically active person. I'm really mindful that we've just struck. But there are some people might be more creative, arty, or singing, or like all different types of things. And I think it's about finding out for you what works for you, because not everything is going. What works for me won't work necessarily for the next person. So.
And to try out things as well. You might have. I'm not a very outdoorsy, exercisey person, so I use music or I use some other creative that's unique to me. But I might actually try and go for a walk next time. Now that I've heard, just try them out and figure out what works for you. There'll be some things that you gravitate to and be like, this is my thing, and I love it. And there's some really easy things you can go to, and maybe some of the binge TV series. And then I suppose one of the final questions, or the final question we might have for tonight, is what do you wish somebody told you when you were newly diagnosed with type 1 diabetes? And second one, what would you say to your younger self now?
Can I go first?
Sure.
I wish they had have told me it was a forever thing. I literally was like, oh, cool, I'll do a needle. I've been in hospital for 2 weeks. It's the same thing. It's happening every day. I asked to do it. I did it. I went home and it kept going. And I was like, oh, when's this going to stop?
Yeah.
I had to figure it out. And I wish I had known that. And I think me now to tiny Kyle would probably just say it's all cool, man. Like, don't stress about it. Because, I mean, I went full swings and roundabouts. I was keeping, back in the day before CGM, spreadsheets and really focusing on trying to make myself healthy in one part of my life at the detriment of the rest. So just it's not everything.
That's a really interesting question. I don't think I have a concrete answer to that question, but I think if I was going to say anything to my younger self, I think it would be kinder, but I'd also say that to me today. And I think upon reflection, something that I would ask of other people around me, which is really big, is to not talk about things like potential cures. Because I think that kind of gives you like a living in hope sort of situation. And I think the key is to be able to take every day as it is, and to be able to accept where you are now, and whatever happens in the future, awesome, if that's what happens later down the track. But don't keep living thinking in the next 5 years there'll be a cure. If you're able to find a day of acceptance or whatever it is in today, your life will be a lot easier. Yeah.
Did you have thought?
Well, I obviously I was diagnosed a lot later in life, and I had a good experience generally in terms of how people responded to me. But one person in particular, because one of the things that happened for me was, as you know, I love bushwalking, and when I started to try to walk, I just kept hypoing, and this went on for weeks, and I just thought, I'm never going to be able to bushwalk again, and it's really important to me. Anyway, this person who had at that stage almost 40 years said, do you have a backpack? I said, yes. Do you have jelly beans? I said, yes. She said, well, I can't walk. And it was a really good message. So I had to learn just how to manage it basically on bush, which I've obviously now done. And the second bit about what I say to my younger self, that's really tricky. I'd probably say anything is possible with health, because I don't know that I would ever. In fact, I know it's a fairly common reaction when people get diagnosed with type 1. They say, "You sure? Sure it's not?" And I said that because I had other health issues going on at the same time. And I kept saying, but there's no one in my family. It can't be. There's got to be some other explanation. So I guess the thing is that, yeah, look, it's a little bit what people were touching on before. Live now. If you've got an opportunity right now, take it, grab it, because you just, things can change. So just make the most out of the day.